What's happening? Oh, wait, there are ads on Twitch now?
There's always been ads on Twitch.
Oh, fuck, I've never had ads on Twitch. What is this shit?
I suppose because you had some sort of ad blocker.
I still do. Sevalicious put customized ads?
I did not. That's a lie. I've actually even disabled my ads. But motherfucking Jeff Bezos was just... He wants that ad revenue. Even when I don't.
Twitch is owned by Amazon?
Yes. Oh my god, dude. Do you...
I don't keep up with this stuff.
How many rocks do you live under? At least 5. You live underneath at least 5 rocks.
At least 3 is like the first, the second, and the third from the sun.
Yeah, you're like Plato's cavern times 10.
Oh,
like when you leave the cavern, you go into another cavern. You just go to a bigger cavern.
That's an accurate description of my life. I just live this cave, and I go to the other one to play board games, and then I go to another outdoor cave, which is play beach volleyball. Yeah.
You've never seen the... Oh my god, my microphone is kind of fucking up. I need to...
Oh no, Twitch changed. What happened to you, Twitch? There's some different stuff here happening. Anyway, guys, welcome.
Welcome.
To another Artistry Podcast, sponsored by Sevalicious. Sevalicious.
Is it
Sevalicious?
It's Sevalicious.
Do you prefer Sevalicious?
No, I prefer Sev, but I couldn't have that on the Twits, so on the Twitches, so I had to go to Sevalicious. I tried Mr. Sev, which is the other thing I go by often, but again, there's a Twitcher out there who beat me to it. Therefore, Sevalicious is my third. On the line. I like this drawing quite a lot. Like this illustration, by the way. And this is a quick jump. I feel like we're jumping all over the place. Do you want to make an introduction first before I start speaking about what I'm doing here?
Oh, well, I'll give it a try. Usually you do this, but here on Artistry Podcast, we talk about all things related to art and rant a lot. I mean, that's the main thing, really. We just rant, and sometimes we talk about art. And, well, today we did prepare some topics just to rant. And Sev does have some exciting things he wants to mess with. Which is AI art. Ooh. And I guess there was maybe some foreshadowing if you listen to all our podcasts, because he's like, "Oh, this is interesting. Should take a look at it." And I want to rant a little bit about daylight savings because that was recent. And well, I would like to know if people who watch this have an opinion on that, and if they care to share their opinion, and if they do share their opinion on that. And then we'll talk a little bit about AA art, and also today's going to be a rather short one because Sev has real life commitments.
Ain't that just an absolute bitch? Don't you just hate when your real life gets in the way of your gaming and hanging out with your bros
and streaming?
Okay, so what I was gonna do, what I was during the stream, while Jay is probably going to be talking, I'm going to be working over an AI generated image. Basically what you're seeing right now on my stream, this image was brought to you by the good AI generator called Dream Studio, I think it's called. Let me just quickly double check to see if I'm not doing any disservice. It's Dream Studio. This is really good. It's Dream Studio. It's a really good AI generator that not only can you say, for example, that you want to generate art, like say a donkey riding a unicorn, but you can also make that art via some artist's style. For example, you can say that from the previous podcast with Kim Jong-un, you can say that you want a donkey riding a unicorn in the style of Kim Jong-un. Not Kim Jong-un, not Kim Jong-un. Maybe Kim Jong-un. I don't know how good he was at drawing. I don't know. Maybe he was good.
But on the same of to his records, he was the best. At H3, he was the most commemorative, whatever.
Yeah, he was the first real artist. Yeah, but you can make it in the style of Kim Jong-gi from the previous that we've talked about in the previous podcast, and it's a really interesting like AI generator because it's so far, if you want a small resolution, and I don't mind working in a small resolution. If you look at the image I have right now in Photoshop, if I zoom in, immediately you can start to see it's more pixelated than anything else. But the reason why I'm doing this is I think this is like the perfect size and the perfect aid for me to help me develop a board game. Like in a board game, I like having like creature cards or whatever, and I want to have like a whole selection of creature cards, like 100 plus creature cards. But that would mean that I have to make concept for 100 plus creatures, and that is just way too much. It reaches just the point where you don't. It breaks the amount of work versus payoff, or I need to hire another artist to do that. However, if you use AI art, obviously I would acknowledge that all the work is basically AI art. So I'm not trying to steal anyone's credit, not even an AI computer. And then using that AI art, I can draw on top of it, giving it some like personal details, so that it becomes crisp enough to be used on my board game. However, and because it's just for cards, I don't need the resolution to be gigantic. It can be relatively small. And if you use small images on Dream Studio, you can generate as many images as you want, apparently.
For free, or as opposed to paid, or what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Usually how AI generated websites work is you have like a certain number of credits to generate images. And after you reach that limit, you either have to wait a certain period of time, or you need to pay for a premium or whatever. But if I keep just the scale relatively small, this website allows me to just keep on getting more and more images, and it's perfect because, as you can see right now, I kind of went for this. Hey, King of Pain, I see you on Twitch. How you doing?
Hello.
Oh, my cat's going crazy. But as you can see, I went for this kind of horror aesthetic. I've always been more of a horror boy. I liked monsters. I think monsters are great. And I also am of the opinion that AI, now that I've actually used the AI generators, I'm not afraid of them taking my job. They're so limited in making realistic, like human proportions, making action scenes, making like weapons, or making items. Like, I want a fantastical sword, and he kind of like just fucks up the sword. Anything that is meant to be a precise shape, or a precise geometry, the AI kind of fumbles around, because what it does is it uses the law of averages to create something. But here's where AI generators are awesome. Tell them to make a monster, and it'll haunt your nightmares. Because what is a monster if not just a bunch of weird shit? So I just realized the perfect use for AI really is just to create monstrosities like the one you're looking at right now. I don't even remember what the prompt was for me writing this. I think I just wrote like a Lovecraftian horror, and the style.
I was gonna say like maybe this is the incarnation of Lovecraft.
Oh yeah, totally. I think the first searches I did was Lovecraftian horror in the style of Cedric Pavey-Renee, I think is his name, which is now I have to.
You're dropping names now with your buddies and stuff. I don't know.
Oh, he's not my buddy. I wish.
Your Kim Jong-un friend, your Kim Jong-gi friend.
Pavey-Renee. I don't know how to actually pronounce his shit, but he is so good. His style was actually in Love, Death, and Robots. See if I can put this very quickly.
Oh, I don't know which one. Dude, by the way, God damn it, why did you go on that tangent?
I'm sorry.
Why is there like I still haven't finished all of them, but like there's one episode I watched again, like, oh man, this is really good, and like, oh wait, this looks as good as the other one that I liked that was really good, and it is by the same people, and like there's like the best people of the Love, Death, and Robots. They make the best stuff, and it's all space stuff. Maybe I'm just biased for space stuff.
Yeah.
Can you do it? I wanna use some AI generating bullshit later. You gotta hook me up, bro.
I will. I'll actually probably leave the links all down below. Like Cedric Pavey, he does this very, very. I just love the texture of his painting style. This is all digital, I think. I'm fairly confident this is digital. It feels like it's digital, but it has such nice texture to it. It feels like you can see the brushes of. I can't zoom in, unfortunately, but you can really see the brushes of his artwork, and from a distance it looks absolutely stunning, and I just love his art style. So but he mostly does like portraits and character concepts. But I just like his art style, so I said I want a Lovecraftian horror in the style of Cedric Pavey-Renee. I don't know, and his last name is always a mystery to me. Pavey-Renee. And the AI machine come up with this Lovecraftian horror. And to be honest, I like it. The AI,
I think his name is Pay Revenue.
Pay Revenue. Cedric Pay Revenue.
Yeah.
Actually, just to go, King of Pain usually has some pretty good insights. I'm going to read what he said. The AI is only as good as the humans that program the machine's learning. That Disco Elysium. It's for the video game, Sev. Oh, that's Disco Elysium. Did he do Disco Elysium? I actually, I mean, Disco Elysium has a very, very awesome art style as well, but I don't think Cedric Peyrevenue did Disco Elysium.
Peyrevenue. It's official now.
I don't think he did Disco Elysium, which is also a fucking phenomenally gorgeous game. I should actually look it up. Hey Joe, how you doing? However, going back into the art that I'm doing right now, as you can see, this monstrosity, it almost works as a standalone thing. Like, you can just look at this and you feel like it's a monster. There's just a few things that I'm not quite okay with. Like, there's always elements in the drawing that kind of don't make much sense, and that it kind of annoys me. An example here is this area here that I'm highlighting, where you can see that there's a part of the monster. A part of the monster that just basically, I don't know what this shape is up here, you know? It feels like it was trying to leave the pipe or whatever. Yeah, it's the head penis of the monster, because I consider this the head. And the pipe, like, I'm probably going to try and fix this and add so that the pipe continues and connects to the monster or something. Make it like it's a imprisoned monstrosity. I might even... Another thing that I noticed is this area here. It's kind of, I have no idea what's going on back there. I see lines that just like continue on endlessly, but I assume that this is meant to be another pipe like so, and that it should connect to this pipe, and it should do something like that. So that is it. And then I'm also going to probably fix this area over here, because there's this sharp angle that leads basically to nothing. That's the problem I have with AI generator, because like I said, it just does this average of shapes, right? So it quite often happens that you just see a shape going on endlessly into the distance. I'm going to see if I can give you an example.
To be fair, when I first saw this, I didn't think it was a monster. It looks like more a machine than a monster thing. The tentacle thingies, I guess, are kind of monstrosity-like.
Yeah, I do like the
but it doesn't look very live.
Mm-hmm. In terms of, I think this has like cyber monstrosity feel to it, which I really dig. However, I'm going to show you a quick example of what I've done in the past.
Risky much?
So this is. Okay, good. I'm showing you now a spider that I
that's better.
So this was the original image here. So looking back at the monstrosity you have right now, it looks pretty much complete until you realize, if you look at the bottom, like the bottom two legs kind of like do this weird shape where they endlessly trail off to the right. Mm-hmm. Which, if you're not paying attention to it, your mind just doesn't compute that imagery. But to me, I looked at it and it was like, oh, what the hell is it? It's like he's snorkeling through like a straw. Like, it's almost like he's drinking a milkshake from off screen, and he's just like So I decided to give this monster a little bit of details, and what I ended up doing was, I didn't like change it all that much. I like the general layout, I like the vague feel of it, but I basically removed those long tentacles and I gave him like these weird pincers. So like these long tentacly pincers coming out of its mouth. Also, I made it very discreet. I don't know if you guys will be able to notice it that much, but I did try and put like a little bit of a skull face on the creature's like main body. And now that I highlight it, probably be easier for you to see.
Yeah.
And it just makes this like subtle little monstrosity spider-like swamp creature. And that is like the perfect example of what I would like to use in a board game. So yeah, it didn't take me much work as well. It took me like a 15-minute like sketch for me to put this from converting the AI art into something that I would use in the board game. And again, I'm not trying to, because this is also in the style of Cedric Peyrevenue. I don't want to make it seem like I'm claiming this is my art. I'm just using this as basically a crutch so that I can do more art more quickly, so that I can probably make this board game. Because I'm also not intending to make the board game like commercially viable. I just want to create something cool.
Oh, how dare you! It has to be commercially viable.
I don't know about that.
Viable. Come on. There are some. I've been to Algarve this year. Come on, it was cool. That was a good place to take it and test it out, for example. I'm sure there are many cons in Porto and stuff. It's like usually more active with board games. You gotta connect with the community of board gamers there, man. Who's gonna test your game?
To be honest, there's a gaming shop nearby that I wouldn't mind to do that.
Yeah. Hook up some gamers, man. They want to test out your game. They want to play with some monsters that have been generated by AI and improved upon by human.
So.